Okay, so this is our MPA check-in. Welcome. How are you today, sir?
Great. I just want to say thank you for doing this. This is absolutely amazing. I feel like in these times it's important to be together. That's like what I keep talking about, and the fact that you're bringing all these people together is amazing. And I appreciate you doing that and taking the time.
Thank you. Andrew and I have been having a great time making them and going around the community talking to people. And it's great to hear from people. We just had a conversation with some guy named Maeda. I don't know, he seems to know who you are. I don't know. Brendan Maeda?
What was the name?
Brandon Maeda?
Oh
Matt?
yeah, I love
Yeah.
Brandon, man. He's a great. I
Matt
know
Maeda, yeah, I don't know who that guy is. Yeah, no, he says hi. He wants to, he spoke highly of you and wants to shout out.
that was very nice of Brandon. Him and his brother, they're both super talented, and whenever I get a chance to work with them, I love it because they're good at their craft. That's for sure. And they're
That's
just
right.
good
That's
people. Like, at the
yeah,
end of the day, we're in this business because we love it. And if you don't love who you're working with, it's miserable. So, whenever I can work with those guys, they're just good people. So that
and
makes everything better.
and that's right. And what we're talking about is the community that we have is very strong. We have a certain work ethic. We really want to get it done. And even though a lot of people left Michigan, we've still got a very strong community here.
Yeah, I was
Uh,
just talking to one of my friends, Eddie Rubin, and he was talking about doing some pickup shoots here for a movie he was working on. He's like, "Is there still crew?" I'm like, "Yeah, man. Like you'd be surprised. I know a lot of people left, but there's still a lot of really talented, hardworking people here that would love to hop on something." So
yeah, apparently this is an issue where people think that we lost all our crew,
mhm.
but the Kill Switch film
Yeah.
that was here was starting to get an idea that we do have crew here. It was just
For sure.
sad that they were kind of stopped in their tracks.
Yeah, I know, me too. The thing that happens is if some larger productions stacked up on each other, then we might be, the depth, so if,
Yeah.
if it's some commercial jobs and then a feature here and there, like we have some of the most talented people here. But,
Yeah.
if we went back to 2013 at the scale of work we were doing then, we probably would run short just because we had so many people, there's so many jobs then. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. And I like to, I'd like to develop more diversity here in terms of the kind of jobs we do. There's corporate jobs of many different flavors. There's commercial jobs that I see, kind of limited. We've got a lot of car commercials, plane commercials, medical, tabletops I'd like to see more of, more technical things as well, like motion control jobs and
Mm.
more technical things.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that's across the board, even getting into feature films and short films and reality TV series or a TV series, scripted
Right.
or not, doesn't matter. Just
Yeah.
the more I think people want to feel refreshed in what they're doing. If you just do commercial jobs over and over and over and over again, it
Sure.
kind of becomes boring to you. It's like just another commercial job, and that's not why we do this. We do it because we love it. So if we can be refreshed in
Yeah.
the type of content we're working on, it just does wonders for our mind, body, and soul.
When I discovered something very disturbing when the feature films first came here with incentives, and that was that if you were an AD with 20 years of experience on commercials, you actually couldn't be an AD on a feature film. You had to have
Like
a
the
different,
union law, the rules you're saying?
yeah, yeah, the rules are different for DGA, and it was sobering to find that out. And the other thing is that if you've been working on commercials for that amount of time, they don't necessarily have a lot of trust in you. You have to really develop that trust because you're not film trained. So
Very true, very true.
yeah,
And uh, I was blessed enough to kind of come up during the film. Like when I first moved back from film school, it was in 2010, and that's
yeah,
when the incentive was in its peak and full swing. So all I worked on, I started as an intern for free, taking out garbage, and I literally just worked my way up. And
yeah,
it was pretty much exclusively on movies and short films and TV series and things like that. So I was able to get that side of it, and then now transitioning into more commercial work or branded spots. So I'm a little more fortunate to be able to blend those two a little bit more.
that's fantastic. Where did you go to film school?
Full Sail University in Orlando.
Okay, right. Yeah, that's a tough program. I mean, they put you
It
through
kicks your
the,
butt. It's not an art school. It's a technical school. So I have a bachelor's in the science of film, and it's very, we would have class from 1 in the morning to 8 in the morning because they wanted you to just be used to things like that. And we would have class 16 hours a day. It was just it was intense. It was a 2 year program, and that's why you didn't get like Christmas breaks or summer breaks, and you had full 40-hour to 60-hour weeks, and it was very, kept you on it. And
is it true that you had clients assigned to you so you could actually develop a relationship with the client, and so you had that side as well?
so in a way, yes and no. So the clients were like the teachers,
Teachers.
and it might have been professors in different classes. So they might have not been my direct professor, but like
Yeah.
they would be my client, and I'd have to pitch them on ideas and
Yeah.
kind of sell them on what we wanted to do. And yeah, and they also, which was great for me too, ran you through everything: audio, camera, light. It just every department you kind of
Sure.
had to go through and do. So it helped me, when I got into it. I didn't really know a whole lot about the industry. I grew up, I played sports. I went to college originally to play basketball, and I hurt my ankle, didn't play, and transferred to film school. And I didn't really know a lot, so it was great to be able to experience all the departments. And again, that kind of translated when I was working up the industry. I was in the production line, so second ADing, second, first, and it was great because I was able to like talk to every department, whether I was putting call sheets together or talking through logistics for the next day, and every department would talk to me. And a lot of times they bitch at you about things that aren't going well, which I love because it's the fastest way to grow. You don't want to fuck up. Sorry for the language. You don't want to screw up.
Right. We're open
So
here. Yeah.
it's the fastest way to learn is when people are complaining to you and you just okay, we don't want to do those types of things. So you hear it from every department, and I think that really helped me become the producer I am today because I was able to touch base with every department. Now when I'm running my own sets, I have everyone kind of in mind as I'm trying to piece things together. Not that my sets are perfect, we still have our issues. Everyone does. It's production, but
No, but it taught you how to be a leader, really, right?
yeah, very much so. Yeah, because I mean, you have to have empathy for everyone. Everyone has their own issues, and you have to be able to put yourself in their shoes and understand and relate. And everyone likes to think that their role or their job is the most important job, and it should be because you're focused on that. But when you're leading the entirety of it, you have to be able to put yourself in all those shoes and be able to do what's best for the unity of it.
Right, right. And that sets us up for what's happened now. This is an unprecedented time, and you find yourself leading, a group of people that are pretty young, and what do you do? What do you do to keep the drive going?
Yeah, for sure. Well, first off, I believe in God, and I'm a very faithful person. So I'm hopeful. First off, and that's the person I am. I'm a very hopeful, positive, optimistic person. So I think that kind of transcends off me when I'm working with people, and you'll see that. So it's just being optimistic as you look forward. But something we've also really focused on with our co-founder John Browie, he's really harped on is kind of not acting as if this isn't happening, but being business as normal. Like let's as normal as we can be. Let's keep talking to each other. Let's keep meeting. Something he did, which was amazing, is every morning, Monday through Friday, 9:30 in the morning, we all hop on Google Hangout, all of us, all 14 of us, and we talk about what we're going through. It could be just shows we're watching or scripts we're writing or people we've connected with in the community. And then we get into a little more business of what we're doing today and our tasks for the day and whatnot. But every day it gets us connected, it gets us talking, because it can get really dark and depressing if you're holed up in your house, not talking to anyone, lights off in the corner. So we, something John did was get us all together every morning. And I think it's been great because it just kind of sets that tone for your day. Like, we could still be productive. Just because this is all going on doesn't mean our life halts. We could still do things.
Yeah.
And I think we've all kind of rallied together in that spirit, which has been great.
Indeed, right. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do to continue honing your skills. for you guys. You've got a camera group, you've got editing, you've got the whole thing. And if you can keep these people sharp
Yeah,
in any manner.
you're right. And I think what we focused on, at least at Woodward Original, is creative development is one,
Mhm.
coming up with new ideas, writing scripts. It could even be working with other brands of how to help them tell their story right now or tell their story once we come out of this, but just kind of getting creative development going. The second thing is post production, because that is something we could still do with existing assets or voiceover, however we want to do it, but
Perfect.
really kind of doing post production. The third thing is more, it's the business, the process of how we work, our marketing, the type of the business side of things to help us. And then the fourth thing is our community, because these are our family, these are people we work with every day. So really just getting in text messaging or hopping on a FaceTime or
Mhm.
emailing or even just writing a letter, just trying to connect in different ways. So, it's not, I know we're not physically together, but we're all in this together.
I hear you.
So
Yeah,
we
yeah.
need to be there to support one another. We need to be able to talk. We need to go to just communicate and stimulate each other, because everyone's in their own unique situation and this does suck, but we're experiencing it together. So let's be there together for each other.
There you go. Yeah, you can't have those lunch meetings. I miss those lunch meetings.
But you can have a lunch meeting, have a Google Hangout.
Have a
It's okay if you're
sandwich.
eating or, even
Yeah,
I think I
yeah.
was saying we were doing some funny videoing. We're trying to utilize this Google Hangout, so we're recording, our conversations and whatnot. And it was 5 o'clock on a Friday. We were doing like a comedy thing, so we all having a drink and hanging out. And it
There you
as
go.
much as we're not together, we are together, and it's
Yeah,
you got to try to find those moments to do that.
that's great. So it sounds like you're coping pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, I have a family. I love my wife to death. She's
Yeah.
an amazing individual. And I have two boys, a 1-year-old and a 3-month old. Um,
Congratulations. That's great.
Thank you. So it's been nice. I see them more. Usually I don't get to be home all the time for dinners or breakfast or whatever. So it's nice that we're eating meals together. And my 1-year-old's living his best life. Like mom and dad are both home all day.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have to go to
Ah,
preschool. Like he loves it. And obviously bonding with my 3-month old, getting, for him to know that I'm his dad. It's been nice.
oh, beautiful. That is beautiful. Yeah.
But it's also, I was just texting Max Rubner. He's a gaffer here in Michigan, works for
Sure.
Scotia Lighting, and love him. He's an amazing individual. We're just texting, again, trying to stay connected with each other, even if we're apart. And, we
Mhm.
both kind of had a similar feeling of like, it's almost like society, I don't want to say we needed a pandemic, but we needed a reminder to slow down. I think everyone starts moving so fast and social media this and get caught up in politics and all this stuff. And, you just even work, like we're passionate, right? We got in this industry because we love it. And
Yeah.
we'll work 18 hours a day, and not even think about it, and that doesn't really leave a whole lot of time for you or your family or your friends. So using this moment in time to kind of reflect and remind ourselves what's important, and to slow down and take a deep breath, and honestly start working on some of the stuff you don't get time to do, whether it's writing your personal script or tweaking your camera packages and setup or testing new gear or watching some new content to get inspired, or, whatever it may be. Like, this is the time to be able to invest back in yourself. There's virtual tours of museums. People are putting content out there that you could watch. This is a time to kind of take that deep breath, think about what's important to you, and put that time and effort back into what you want, instead of always have to running around and doing what other people are telling you to do and feel like you're racing society. It's like, no, let's take a deep breath and remind ourselves what we want.
That's right. That's right. Just like 9/11, this was kind of a reset period, even more so because everyone is home.
Well, everyone's
Ev-
checked out. And honestly, like, I think once the dust settles from all this, we'll be able to look back and good will come from it in some way, whether it's individually you grow, our community really bands together, our nation grows and kind of puts some of these left, right, politics aside. I think there will, in some capacity, some good can come from it. I know it's hard to say that because it's
Mhm.
not good right now. And I think it's only going to get worse for the next couple of weeks. But I think once the dust settles, we'll be able to grow from it in some capacity. And to be honest, I'm kind of excited to see what all these creatives are going to produce, because we're not going to be stuck in our house doing nothing. I know this community, and I know my friends and family out there are going to be creative. And, you know, you just kind of put in a box, and then you kind of think of how you could be creative within those parameters. And I'm kind of excited to see some of the content, whether it's funny, whether it's emotional, whether it's dramatic, whatever. I think people are going to put out some interesting content around these situations that they find themselves in.
I agree. I think there's going to be some kind of a surge because, I mean, there's a lot of comedic stuff that might happen as a result of this, but we're not ready for comedy yet. Maybe a little, but, you know, and narrative,
I mean,
everything.
that's how you get over a wound, right? You could laugh and you heal through laughter.
Yeah,
too.
I agree. Totally. Yeah, there's got to be some of that. I've been trying to watch, you know, comedies right now and, you know, get some laughs in because it can't all be the news.
No, I mean, me and my wife, actually, we woke up this morning and we said, you know what, through the next 2 days over the weekend, when we don't have to work or anything, we're not watching the news this weekend. Let's just be with our family. Let's FaceTime people. Let's, you know, take pictures of our kids. Let's just do anything. There's some really good content out there right now. So binge watch TV series or reality shows or movies, but just do anything but the news right now, just because it's going to be a lot of negativity right now. So
yeah. I mean, there's room for documentary, for a variety of new formats out there.
Side note, you don't need to put this in there at all, but that Tiger King documentary on Netflix right now is the most fascinating thing. If you have not watched it, it will it's blowing my mind every episode.
It's on my list. Andrew, did you watch that?
No, but it looked like it reminded me of the void that McMillions left in my heart, which was hillbilly drama of the highest order.
Of the highest order, for sure. If you took Aaron Sorkin and Scorsese and Quentin Tarantino and you gave them a year to craft the most crazy characters they could think of, they still couldn't come up with what's in that show. I promise you. After one, after another, I'm like, okay, that's the craziest person. And then, nope, next episode, there's somebody else. I'm just like, oh my God, this is real life.
Yeah.
Murder, mayhem, madness. Okay, that sounds pretty good to me. All right.
It's crazy. Okay, I'm sorry. We were watching it earlier, and I was just like, oh my gosh.
Well, we should have added more of that to this content. You know, what are you binging on, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Ozark just came out Friday too, so I like Ozark a lot. It's a good show.
Yeah.
Jason Bateman's crazy funny career. I mean, like we're kind of like have Arrested Development like permanently on as we're like going through this, and we're almost like, you know, the Netflix part gets a little weird, but just watching that, it's crazy to think that he's transitioned over to like such serious roles because he's so funny.
He's so dynamic. He's like the king of those little like nonchalant comments, and they're like either hilarious or they're like extremely important, but he just kind of throws them off like, oh, no big deal. It's just like it's amazing.
Yeah, I saw him. He's directing the Outsider, the Stephen King novel on HBO.
Yeah,
he was in it briefly, and then
but that's out right now?
Yeah, that's out. That's out.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. They've been shooting for the last couple of years. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to. You like it? You recommend it?
I do. I read the book, and it's pretty well adapted.
It's Ben Mendelsohn, right, in the show?
Yes. Yeah, and Ben Mendelsohn, just rocks it as well as the supporting cast, who you will recognize.
I have, as the French would say, to get back to our onions. What I've been doing a lot of, as much as I can, is watching movies, and they don't even need movies. I have an absurd amount of DVDs and Blu-rays, but like to watch them with the director's commentary, because I find like there's a lot of like, that's something that you really have to be like a insider to watch those. But the commentary to Place Beyond the Pines, the Derek Cianfrance movie with Ryan Gosling and Ben Mendelsohn, is just amazing. Like he has so many great things to say, and it's like kind of a masterclass in putting together a movie. If you like it, you don't like it, but I would highly recommend that to anyone to watch Place Beyond the Pines. If you got the DVD, you should watch that, because
honestly, it's one of my favorite movies. It's so under the radar too, but I absolutely love that movie. I would be very interested to hear that directing commentary for sure. you said it's like a masterclass, but even masterclasses, I think actually Sundance also put out all their classes and like platforms for free right now. So like there's so many, lynda.com, there's so many of these things that, this is the time to better yourself in whatever kind of craft or technical skill you want to do.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I have a certificate called a CTS, which is Certified Technology Specialist. And it's part of Infocom, which is a national organization, and they provide webinars all the time. The union provides this for me for free anyway, but they're offering those courses for free on how to deal with crowds, with the court, with COVID-19, how to do live AV events in those situations. It's very timely and useful information.
Yeah, I mean that again. It's good to slow down for a second and start,
Right.
Learning and putting some.
Sure.
You don't really reinvest time in yourself right now because we're so
Yeah.
busy on the go. So right now.
Yeah. Well, I hope this series of videos that we've put together here, that Andrew and I have put together, will be inspirational. I know you're inspirational to me. What you say feels pretty inspiring. That you're out there working, so I appreciate that.
No, you inspired me just by doing this, man. I wish I could have been a fly on the wall in all your interviews. I look forward to seeing the final video because I love that you're doing this, and I think it's super important that you are. So I appreciate it.